Hi, my name is Ronnie Ragsdale, and I just finished Bunny by Mona Awad. And I want to talk about it because I have conflicted feelings. I would say to read this book. This video has spoilers in it. So if you haven't read this book, go read it because it's a good time, if nothing else. And while you read it, you should listen to the playlist I made for it. But this is Bunny by Mona Awad. I'll read the little synopsis for you that's on the back. A scholarship student who prefers the comfort of her dark imagination to that of most people, Samantha Heather McKay is utterly repelled by the rest of her graduate fiction writing cohort at New England's elite Warren University, a clique of unbearably saccharine yet sinister girls who call each other Bunny and seem to move and speak as one. But everything changes when Samantha receives an invitation to the Bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, ditching her only friend, Ava, in the process. As Samantha plunges deeper and deeper into the Bunny's world and begins to take part in their monstrous experiments, the edges of reality begin to blur. Soon her friendships with Ava and the Bunnies will be brought into a deadly collision. And that's all the back says. I'll tell you, basically, they're making boyfriends out of bunnies. Hi, it's editing me. So here things get a tiny bit confusing. I call both the bunnies the animal and the bunnies the girls the same thing. So when I'm talking about killing bunnies and turning them into boyfriends, I'm talking about the animal. And then I call the girls bunnies because that's what their group is called. Sorry. They kill these bunnies and then they summon boys that I guess have the spirit of them. I don't know. And they're like a hive mind. The bunnies are these four girls are sort of connected. So if you like the sound of that, go read it and come back. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was written very well. I enjoyed the voice of it. And yeah, I liked most of it, but there are some things I have to say. Number one, Samantha, the main character, is queer. And I don't think that's a very obvious point in the book. I might just I could be interpreting things wrong, but some things just feel very queer, especially her relationship with her best friend Ava. There are some points at the end where the bunnies say that she was in a threesome with Ava and they think that Ava's more than her friend, though if they're just bullying her, I don't know. But I highlighted a couple things here. And the first one, which is on page 74, is she nods at the moon, who would never be stressed out by dumb things like school. I wish she would look at me. I missed you. I say it with feeling, too much feeling. Samantha is obsessed with this idea of keeping her feelings not too big. She doesn't like how happy the bunnies always are, that they're always hugging each other and cooing over things they find cute. She thinks it's immature. I don't think she likes to feel. But her friend Ava just seems to bring that out of her. And there's another point a couple pages later where it seems like they're about to kiss, but they don't. There's no romance between them explicitly. I mean, I read between the lines, but yeah. At the end she says, after Ava dies, she says she loved her. So there's something, I guess. After that, so Samantha, I don't like Samantha as a person, and I think that can be fun. I think it can be a good time to have a narrator in a book that you adamantly dislike. And a book can still be good with a main character that you adamantly dislike. And I do really dislike Samantha. And it was funny most of the time, but sometimes she's just always wallowing in self-pity. She is always like, my life is so horrible. The bunny's life is great. They can never understand. She hates the bunnies, even though they've been pretty nice to her up until the point of the story. And, yeah, it's really annoying. So sometimes I had to stop reading because of that. I just have to put it down because she tires me out. So near like the end of the middle to the latter part of the book, Samantha finally, the bunnies are finally like, because she gets taken in by the bunnies, she becomes a bunny for a little while. And finally the bunnies are like, Samantha, you should lead workshop. You should make a boyfriend. So she does, or it's not totally like clear that she does. It seems like she did, but she makes this boy that they're kind of confused by because he's very different than all of the other boys they've made. He's very sort of mean. And yeah, and his name is Max, and Max ends up dating Ava, like being in a relationship with Ava, which Samantha, though she never outwardly says it, is infuriated by, because first of all, in her brain, she is afraid of Max. She is afraid of what he's gonna hurt Ava, but she's also kind of in love with him. And she sort of treats him like her son. Almost like there's a point where she says, is this the only child I'm ever going to have? But she's also attracted to him, I think. And there's this weird, like, psychosexual thing going on with them. There's a point where basically Max comes up with all these fake names for himself. I don't know if did I say this? Max is the boy that she made. Max is the bunny. Where Max starts dating all of the bunnies, the girls, with all these fake names, these fake aliases, and sort of ruins them. Like, one girl shows up with, like, eat me, like, carved all over her skin, and, like, they're all fighting each other, which is weird, because they're all, like, best friends. They're basically a hive mind. And Samantha feels like she herself did this to him, to them, because Max is her creation, which I think is interesting. Yeah. The ending in general confused me. We're led to believe that Ava was a swan, and Samantha, like, imagined her as a human, and also imagined, like, the bunnies, and then, like, making the boys. But then she kills Max and he turns into, like, a deer, and all the other girls seem to, like, see that. So I don't really know what's going on there, if they were just, like, gaslighting her, but it kind of messed up the rest of the book for me, because I didn't know what was going on at the end. And maybe they want that. Maybe that's what the author was trying to do, was make it so you don't know what's going on at the end. But, like, I feel like a book needs to go one of two ways. I think a book can have a whole book where you're not really sure what's going on most of the time, and that can be entertaining, or it needs to have a plot, like a plot line, and it has to end. And I feel like it doesn't really, like, I mean, it does, like, she graduates, and yeah, but, like, I don't know what happened, though. Like, it was, because it also kind of, because, like, the girls at the end who killed Ava are, like, wearing her clothes, but they're also saying, like, no, she was like a bird. Like, you made her up. They also drug her throughout a lot of the book. The bunnies drug her. So I think that's meant to sort of change how she's seeing things. Like, she's high most of the time that she's one of the bunnies, that she's with them. And that's actually probably my favorite part of the book, is like this like 3-chapter long period where she's one of the bunnies and she refers to herself and all of them as we and as us. And it's really interesting because you don't know, there's dialogue, but you don't know who's saying what, except for like context clues, like, you know, because all the girls have like personalities, you can kind of tell who's saying what. Because it doesn't matter to Samantha, because that's Bunny, you know, they all call each other Bunny. It doesn't matter. It's their bond is so intense that it doesn't matter who's saying what. Also, that's another point where I think she's queer, is she's someone, we don't know who, again, because it's in that little 3-chapter period, says they're discussing what they should do, what they should make their next boy, like what kind of personality they should have, and someone says, maybe we don't make it a boy. Maybe we can make it something else. And then they're all like, ooh, no. Yeah. There are some really fun points in this book. It's kind of campy, which I like. It's campy, and there's such a rich visual world in this. Like, I could imagine all the characters very clearly, and like the settings they were in and the scenes. I will say this book is separated into 3 parts. The first part is pretty slow until the very end of it. The other 2 parts like flew by. I finished this book in like a week, which is impressive for me because I'm a slow reader. Also, I didn't highlight a lot, really. I have all these tabs in here because they're pages where I want, with talking points. But I tend to highlight things in my books when there's like a quote I like or something interesting, I'll highlight it. And I didn't highlight a lot because this book is all kind of blurred together for me. Like, I feel like if I wanted to highlight one quote, I'd have to highlight the whole page. I did end up highlighting some stuff because they usually had to do with like the dynamics between Ava and Samantha. That's mostly what I highlighted. And also like a couple like good quotes. But yeah, it was all just kind of in a blur for me, which I think is sort of fits the atmosphere, because especially from the second and third part, Samantha's sort of in this haze. She goes from being drugged, being in sort of like an extreme depression, and then drugged again. Yeah. It was a good time though. I liked reading it. I gave it a 4.25. So yeah, because I liked everything except for the ending. But yeah, it's a good time. I'd say if you want something that's pretty easy to read, but still is like interesting and nuanced with like layered characters, this is a good pick. It is horror. I didn't find it that scary, but I know some people do find it scary. There's some like violent scenes. I think that's the scariest. I think the stuff with Max is kind of disturbing at some points, but nothing maybe like, ooh, like scared. So if you want a horror that's not too scary, but it's still fun and nuanced and interesting, Bunny by Mona Awad might be the book for you. So thanks for watching this. I hope you have a good day. Bye.